Now, as somebody born in the 90s, for quite a while I really wanted to make a video about something really cool and interesting from the 90s. Like maybe 90s politics, or heck, maybe even 90s sports. The Cowboys were really fucking homies back in the day. Or maybe I could do a good old Princess Diana biop. Or maybe something on the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson. Everybody loves that guy, right? At the end of the day, I decided to go with my all-time favorite TV show. That was up until the age of 11 when I realized females existed and there were also TV channels devoted to infiltrating our young brains with absolute insanity. But up until the age of 11, one show stood far and above the rest. In my opinion, that show was Nickelodeon's Rugrats. Now, if you're not familiar with the Rugrats and this concept, this is gonna seem kinda out there, but trust me, it works. The show is still hilarious to this day. I just watched an entire episode of Rugrats Christmas Special in the middle of July, and I was cracking up, so it's pretty awesome. Anyway, essentially Rugrats revolves around a group of babies. The show focuses on how the babies view the world, which often comes across as grandiose and mysterious, which aesthetically makes the show even that more badass. The babies go on different adventures each episode in which they create insane scenarios out of mundane situations to entertain themselves. This is in fact what children used to do before tablet parenting became a thing. Creativity was key to having a good time. And let me tell ya, no one was more creative than my guy, Tommy Pickles, the leader of the Rugrats. Chucky's best friend and Dill's older brother, Tommy is the leader and heart and soul of the series. He's funny, goofy, but more importantly, he is brave, a natural leader, and extremely loyal and sympathetic. Towards even his arch nemesis and cousin, Angelica, who is the main antagonist of the show. Now, while Angelica is not the antagonist of the show necessarily, she really isn't even evil in any way. She is just a bratty, spoiled little girl who enjoys picking on her younger cousin and his friends. Is she annoying as hell? Definitely. But she's definitely not as bad as that Danny Phantom chick. We also have Phil and Lil, twins obviously who provide a lot of prop and stunt humor throughout the series. Their twin bond is also awesome throughout the series, and I know for a fact somewhere out there is twins named Phil and Lil because of these two. And that makes me And so now you're probably asking, old man, what exactly made Rugrats so likable? Well, to answer this question completely, we must travel back to the year of our fathers, 1990. During this time, Nickelodeon was attempting to add more animation programs to their lineup. Prior to that, Nickelodeon was mainly just a low-budget cable channel that showed corny live-action shows. They were game shows, kids' TV shows. However, in the early 90s, Nickelodeon decided to restructure their entire marketing scheme. They decided to target a broad audience. They wanted to engage all types of ages. And when I mean all types of ages, I really mean all ages. The Rugrats is one of those shows that can be watched by an 80-year-old man and a 2-year-old baby, and they could both sit down, crack up, and have the best times of their lives. Believe me, I've seen it happen in person. Just look at the character of Grandpa Lou. The guy is hands down hilarious and even has his own episode in which he moves out to a retirement home because he no longer feels his family appreciates him. Of course, this isn't true, and by the end of the episode, everything is back to the status quo, which of course is always expected in kids shows and sitcoms. However, this doesn't show that Rugrats was constantly catering to a wide variety of audiences, and while the show was undoubtedly a children's show, it had no problems introducing more mature themes when it felt it needed to. Oftentimes, these more mature references came in subtle nods, such as the episode late in the series when the babies go on one of their classic adventures and accidentally end up in some hysterical place that looks like a Grateful Dead album cover. The babies slowly and majestically jump from mushroom cloud to mushroom cloud. Now, I'm sure that this isn't the most subtle of all hints. This one is pretty right out there in your face. The 90s truly was something different. Some people actually think Rugrats is so dark that the entire show is a figment of Angelica's imagination. Now hold on to your seats because it's about to get pretty wild. The theory goes that none of the babies other than Angelica, Susie, and Dill exist. The Reddit theory alleges that Angelica had a psychological breakdown as a child due to her mentally absent parents. So she created Tommy, her cousin, who actually died in a miscarriage, hence why Stu is always frantic and upset and trying to make perfect toys in the middle of the night. Chucky his best friend? Well, according to the theory, Chucky never existed. His dad died along with his mom in that tragic car accident. So Angelica simply imagines what he would have looked like and acted like to fit her narrative. Well, what about Phil and Lil? Apparently, their mother had an abortion after finding out she was pregnant. This led Angelica to make them twins in her mind since she never knew if the baby was going to be a boy or a girl. Now, this all seems pretty dumb, right? And it is. But it gets more interesting when you look at it even deeper and realize that the only two characters in the show that are capable of communicating with both the babies and the adults are both Susie and Angelica. And just remember, gang, Susie is supposed to be Angelica's only real friend in this world. She is supposed to be helping Angelica through her mental problems and is essentially Angelica's counselor throughout the series. The theory also alleges that Dill, Tommy's little brother, is real, as he is the only baby that can't communicate with Angelica and refuses to be manipulated by her in any way. Now, while this theory is fun to think and talk about, I think we all know it's a bunch of malarkey. Obviously, Angelica and Susie are capable of communicating with both the babies and adults because as they are slightly older and in their toddler stages, they are stuck between both worlds. This was a way of creatively showing that the slight maturity difference between Angelica and Susie compared to the babies. However, it is also clear in other moments they are still just toddlers and childs themselves. And Dill, well, obviously no one can understand Dill since all of the characters on the show stay the same age, and Dill is literally born during the show's run. He never ages out of being a newborn. So he has completely limited communication skills, even with his brother Tommy, although they do work on this in the show, and it does progress because Tommy is just such an awesome older brother. So why did I make this video? Why was the Rugrats my favorite TV show of all time? And yes, I just say the Rugrats. Until, of course, my balls slowly descended into my sack. The answer is simple. Nostalgia. It's pure nostalgia. Nothing captures the essence of being a kid in the 90s like Rugrats does. Whether it was the adult humor that we only slightly picked up on, the unique, almost clumsy animation that made the characters feel real but lived in an almost fantasy world, the dialogue was grounded but the visuals were artistic, unique, and bold for the time. The humor was witty, ahead of its time, and as I stated earlier, it was relatable to everybody. Combine that with quite possibly the catchiest theme song of all time, stamp on it, call it a masterpiece, so there it is. A very simplistic telling of why the Rugrats is my favorite comfort show. The ultimate nostalgic release. Now I'll let you all have a good night, but please join me the next time where we will discuss SpongeBob SquarePants and how he ruined my favorite TV show of all time and quite possibly ruined child's animation. But thank you again, like and subscribe if you like more and interesting, unique content like this.